Oh, yeah. Do I not look ready? Are we not going? We got to do it in unison. There we go. It's kind of fun. This is what you do when you're not boxing?
Yeah, just screw around on the ropes.
What's up, everybody? It's Terry with National Fit Magazine. And today I'm here with
Cristee Forkins.
Cristee. You said it was like, you said it with authority.
Cristee Forkins.
There it is. I love that when I look at everybody. So when I've been doing these videos for a minute, when I look at people, they already said their name. I was gonna say it for you, so I didn't have to do it. But we're here now, so we'll get going. Cristee, how did you? So we're at Music City Boxing right now. Mm-hmm. It's pretty quiet. I know this place is usually hopping a bit here when this place has been full. How did you get into boxing in general? Was that something that you wanted to do from a young age, or?
No, actually, I looked at boxing and watched it growing up, and I was like, I don't know how these people do this. But I started at boxing with ClassPass. There was a gym called Pepper Boxing in
I remember Pepper.
Green Hill, so I started there. I was there for like 2 years, and then COVID hit, and it closed down. And Stevie was a trainer there. Okay. While he was in the process of becoming the owner here. And then he left, and when COVID hit and they closed down, he wanted to start women's fighting team, and so he asked me and a few other girls to come out and learn how to spar, and I said yeah, and then just never really looked back.
Yeah, you knocked out a couple girls and you were like, let's go?
Yeah.
So boxing is what you do for a sport. What do you do for work? What's work like?
I'm a chemical engineer at a tobacco company, so I make chewing tobacco.
Nice.
Yeah.
So is this where you come, like, is this a blow off the steam type of thing, or is this like, this is your form of fitness that turned into now a fighting passion?
Yeah, it started out as just like wanting to lose weight, like wanting to be in shape, and then it turned into my passion to where like it will be eventually my full-time job.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and hopefully in the next month or so, I'll be in the position to do that.
Well, as cool as that is, like being a chemical engineer is like, you're no slouch in that department.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So how'd you get into that?
My dad was a chemical engineer, and
he made it look easy.
Yeah, well, it definitely was never easy, but he helped me get through college and get through all the schooling and all of that with that. So
that's nuts.
Yeah.
Man, I get props for that. I don't have the brain power for that. That's why I'm on this. I'm the camera talent. This is what I do. The gym behind the camera is like, talent. So, Cristee, what have you got? Have you had any fights up until this point? Like,
yeah, I've had, I think 22 fights in total. I've fought 12 times alone this year. So,
can you like describe what that first fight's like? Like,
it's nerve-wracking.
To say, like, I can imagine you're nervous, but what's that first hit feel like when you're not sparring?
It definitely stings. You feel it a lot more in your face. It's like, all right, we're in smaller gloves now. This is real, but it also wakes you up and it makes you kind of give that right back to them. So
I feel alive.
Yeah.
So, what's your record in those fights?
19-6. 19-6. I'm glad Stevie knows it.
I feel like that came from God. Oh, there he is. He's back there. So 19-6. That's nuts.
Yeah, and a lot of the fights come at tournaments where you either win the whole thing or you lose and you leave. So, I think all of my losses have come at those level tournaments. And then I've won a few myself. So,
yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Are these local in Nashville? Are you traveling to do these?
Typically traveling. I've been lucky to have one fight in Nashville and one fight in Clarksville, but other than that, I'm traveling to like Pueblo, Colorado, Lubbock, Texas, Wichita, Kansas, all over the place, and we'll be in Lafayette, Louisiana in a month for trials.
All right, Louisiana, watch out. So what's the goal? Where do you want to be? I know you said you want to go full-time, but what's the road to that? To be a full-time athlete look like? You gotta get sponsors or things like that?
Yeah, that's a part of it. The biggest thing is I've got Olympic trials next month. So if I win that, I move on to the next stage of selection camp for the Olympic team. And so...
Well, I feel like we just grazed over. I stick with professional fighting, and now we're talking about the Olympics.
Yeah. So
that feels like another level.
So amateur boxing feeds into the Olympics, whereas like pro boxing is what you go to when you're done with your amateur career and you can't really go back.
Okay.
So Olympics would be the next step. After that would be a pro career and looking at like competing for world championships and everything like that.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Does that get you excited?
It does. Yeah, it really does. That's all I think about, really.
So the road to the Olympics. So when does that? So what's your next thing for the Olympics? So you said that you have Olympic trials. When does that?
That'll be December 2nd through the 9th
So
of this
coming
year. Yeah. Yeah. Spent the year going to different qualifying tournaments, competing, and they take top 2 from all of those tournaments, and then they compete against each other in trials.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, I've won at 2 different weight classes, so I was qualified at 2 weight classes, and I choose one. I only can compete at one,
Sure.
but yeah. So
That's nuts. So what is something that boxing has taught you, like this journey has taught you about yourself that you didn't otherwise know was true?
definitely a lot of self-confidence.
Yeah.
And just, learning to be a calm person. It takes a lot of that rage out of you, a lot of that excess energy, and I'm a chill person now.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
You're not worried about walking down a dark alley at night anymore?
No, I almost welcome it.
You're looking for a fight.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's confidence. I like that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So self-confidence. What else? What is like? And this journey's not easy, right? I know it's like those losses aren't easy.
Yeah.
What's like? You can maybe share with us the darkest or the hardest trial that you've had to work through thus far. What's that been like?
So yeah, I mean the losses are tough, and in the moment you try not to worry so much about them, but they kind of linger with you, and just trying to like balance keeping my head where it needs to be while I'm still thinking about that last loss, and it hurts your ego a little bit. So
Yeah.
trying to shut that down, and not focus on it. But I think I lost back in September. That was my last loss. Before that, my last loss was in March. So I mean, I did pretty well throughout the summertime and was feeling very confident. But it can take a little bit out of your confidence, and then you can kind of start feeling yourself spiraling into a little depression. So just being aware of that and trying to pull yourself out of that. And I definitely found myself there in September at the end of the month, and just kind of telling everybody about it, how you feel, and letting them rally around me to kind of lift me out of that.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This place feels like a very community-driven place. Like it's definitely family vibe in this joint. Like I came in here knowing one person, and I was back in the summer, and now I know like 5 people. And I don't even come here.
Yeah,
So
I love that.
I love it. It's like, the good news of this place is spreading, so that's really cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that your journey. What does prepping for a fight look like when you're not just like hitting the mitts or punching the bag? Like, what's strength training look like? Is that an element?
Yeah, it's definitely an element. But you kind of also have to balance it around how your body's feeling. So I didn't really do much strength training all summer because I was just kind of babying some injuries. But I'm back into that now. So trying to do it like 3 days a week with strength. And then pretty much 3 or 4 times a week we're working mitts. 3 times a week we're sparring typically.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of mitt work, bag work, sparring, strength, and recovery when you can fit it in.
Well, I was going to ask you about that because recovery is a thing that nobody wants to do because you have to sit still oftentimes. So what's recovery look like?
I usually don't take days off, but I have had to lately.
Yeah.
I've had to at least take, a rest day a week, even if it's not really intentional.
Yeah.
But I've also added like cold plunges in. That really helps. But as it gets colder out, it's harder to want to get in that cold plunge.
Hey, listen, you're already tougher than me on so many levels. Don't throw in that you're cold plunging because that is like the one thing I won't do. It's like
it's tough for me.
And I get the science, the brown fat, the whole metabolism. I get it, people.
It just
don't
sucks.
come at me with that cold plunge. I will not be your sponsored athlete.
Baths are good though too. Warm baths.
Yeah, now we're talking like
Yeah.
hot tub and
Yeah.
a cigar. I don't know. That's recovery for me.
Yeah, it's an aspect to it. Saunas too.
Yeah,
I like the
sauna's a good
sauna.
one. Yeah, and I know your hydration's important. Is there like a go-to, like when you're talking nutrition and hydration? Is there you got a certain prescription you're sticking to with that stuff as far as like what
Yeah.
your trainers working with you on?
Yeah, for a few years I just kind of did it on my own and kind of trial and error myself, and sometimes that shows up in the ring, like with weight drain. But since February, I've been with the nutritionist, and I've switched once. I'm about a month in with my current nutritionist, and it's really helpful.
That's cool.
It requires me to count my calories and track everything in my FitnessPal, which I fought for so long, but it just, now I know what my macros are. I know how to hit what I need, and I fight at like 3 different weight classes, so that helps me kind of change my macros depending on what weight I'm fighting at. Yeah.
What's the fluctuation between weight classes, like 5-10 pounds, or?
Yeah, it gets bigger as the weight goes up. But I fought at 146, 154, and 165. Okay. So it's like a 25-pound range or 24-pound range or something like that. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm slightly intimidated sitting here. Because I'm 225, and I'm sure 145, you'd handle me. I'd get handled. Oh,
yeah, the speed comes into play there.
Yeah, I'd be like, I got this. Where did that even come from? I'm having flashbacks. That's crazy. I know. Obviously, macros, counting your calories is really important. I think that's really important for everyone to hear too. That it's not all about repetition. That does matter, right? For you in the ring, but recovery and hydration and nutrition are very, very important at this level, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to go pro.
Yeah.
So you really got to dial
you gotta
it in.
Take care of your body.
And I'm sure you noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're only going to recover so much.
Yeah.
And your diet's not great.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And everybody's instinct is to just like cut carbs out and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you're training once or twice a day, your body's going to hate you if you're not eating those carbs.
No, you got to have energy from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've learned that. That's been a learning process for sure.
Why is Cristee sleeping back there?
Yeah, right.
She's
She's only had like 30 carbs today.
Yeah. You take a shot to the chin, it's like brain fog.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the brain fog. Yeah, the brain fog is really real.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And that's almost been gone in the last like 3 months that I've really been dialed in on my nutrition.
That's good.
So yeah,
that's great work. That's good work for you.
And my mood is here. I know everybody here notices that I'm not.
You're
cranky,
not trying to fight everyone.
Yeah.
Just give her a donut.
Yeah.
Get out of the way. She's coming for you. That's for real. Well, anything that you would say to anybody trying to get into boxing, or maybe you want to speak specifically to women. I know the pool of women in fighting is I know it's probably growing.
Yeah.
But not where I'm sure people would like it to be. So is anything you would like to tell anybody or share with anybody who's maybe on the fence?
Yeah, I mean, I love it, and the biggest thing is to like use your network of women. Like a lot of times you want to give people the cold shoulder. You don't want to talk to your opponent, or you don't want to talk to them after. It's somebody you're trying to take their head off. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to get better, and making those connections with those people and having them in your network helps so much, because when I'm getting ready for a fight and they're not going to be in my bracket or something, I can hit them up and use them as a sparring partner. And we can all learn from each other too. Like I try to give people so much like nutritional guidance, weight cut guidance, just because there's not very many of us, and a lot of coaches have never coached a female and they don't know. And our bodies are different than men's, and they need different things. And so it's not always applicable when people only have advice for training men. Yeah. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Sure. So you hear that out there and you're thinking about coming for Cristee. I feel like that's the invitation. Like she's inviting you. Come to me. Come to me. Good for fresh meat, especially if you're in an alley. Just remind me to never bump into you in an alley. Usually I'm the one people are afraid of. But I ain't got this.
You're just out there lurking in the shadows.
I ain't got that. This has been awesome. I can't wait to see how this future unfolds for you, and I'd love to interview you again. especially if we get you in the Olympics in September.
Yeah.
So we don't.
Yeah. That's the goal.
So what's the biggest thing you got coming up? The next big thing is that
it's definitely
Olympics?
trials. Yeah, Olympic trials. That's the
You got a month.
a month. Yeah, it's almost exactly a month. I think.
Yeah.
I think we'll start on like December 5th. They'll draw brackets on the 3rd of December, and then we'll start fighting on the 4th. And then it's like every day for that whole week. Yeah.
Woo.
Until you got one person left standing.
You enjoy your cold plunge.
Yep. I'm definitely packing that up and bringing it with me to Louisiana. I'm going to need that.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
All right, this has been awesome. We look forward to following your story. Can you tell everybody where they can find you?
I'm on Instagram at Cristee Forkins. My name is kind of spelled weird, so Cristee Forkins. But you'll be able to find me there.
Cool.
That's really it.
And sponsors, where should the sponsors find you? Same place?
Same place, yeah. Definitely need to start getting sponsors.
You don't have an agent like you want to reference?
Not yet. Not yet.
All right.
But that will come.
We might know a couple of guys who make some connections. Well, I appreciate your time today, guys. Make sure you follow what Cristee's got going on. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you.